So Volkswagen created the hot hatch segment almost 40 years ago with the Golf GTI. Now in 2023, we have the current Golf GTI, and in our tester, we just have the basic S trim. And even though the S trim is the starting trim, it's not lacking in features. We have a lot of really good performance bits on how Volkswagen configured this for our market. So as a Volkswagen Golf owner since 2000 and a Golf R owner since 2015 with the Mark 7 and 7.5, can the Mark 8 GTI be as good as the current Golf R and save nearly $18,000 US and just get the GTI in the S trim? Well, I think we should take a look at this and find out. Is this as fun or more fun than a Golf R? Let's see if we can figure that out. I'm George Torline, and this is Victory in Reseda.
The 8th generation Volkswagen Golf is only available in two models for North America, the R and the GTI. This GTI celebrates the 40th anniversary of its arrival in the United States. Speaking of the Golf R, you can watch our Quickies video as we took it on the track, right here. Back to the GTI. We notice how evolutionary the design continues to be. There are many design cues that can be traced back over the decades and generations. The 8th generation model underwent some nips and tucks to update its overall design. You will find a set of LED fog lamps that peek out of the lower honeycomb grille. The GTI continues to be as sharp looking and highly functional as a practical hatchback, with a bit more aggression. The added red trim and GTI badges give away its intention on providing a bit more fun for your daily grind. Our tester is the S model, which includes a set of 18-inch alloy wheels wearing performance tires. In all, the Golf GTI has a signature stance that stands out in a parking lot and on the road that continues to speak its place among enthusiasts. The biggest change to the Mark 8 GTI is in the interior. Its iconic analog dials have been replaced by a fully digital instrument cluster. The gear lever for the DSG transmission has been reduced to a toggle switch. There are plenty of haptic and soft touch controls throughout the cabin. You still have a 3-spoke flat-bottom sports steering wheel, red trim, and LED lighting, along with GTI badging. Seating in the Golf GTI is designed for enthusiastic driving. The high-back front seats are very supportive. The cushion and seat back bolsters lock front seat occupants down for the ride of their lives. The iconic tartan cloth upholstery in our S tester feels great to the touch and is quite comfortable to sit in. While the rear seats are comfortable for average-sized adults, the space is really good for the 4 of them. At least the cargo space can accommodate their luggage in the 19.9 cubic foot hatchback space, which is expandable with the removal of the cargo tray and folding down the rear seat backs. All told, you will get up to 34.5 cubic feet of space. Power comes from the EA888 turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, rated at 241 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. Our tester came with the available 7-speed DSG transmission, sending power to the front wheels. In terms of fuel economy, we averaged 34.3 miles per gallon. Now we could tell you more, but let's take the new Golf GTI on the road.
Comfort of the seats are really good. You've got really nice bolsters on the side that keep you in place, and even enough room for someone my size. There's plenty of room for that. On the sides of the seats, there's almost like an Alcantara type of texture to it. It's really nice. And that soft fabric is also on the sides of the door cards, which is really smooth and nice. Overall, the interior quality materials are nice. Volkswagen has been known for having nice interiors and minimalistic design. They've done that here. They did kind of go overboard with the 8th generation of the Golf. It's nice to see that there are some physical controls, like this particular infotainment system, that it's not completely touch. You still have some knobs to work with. The suspension on here is a nice compromise between having adaptive suspension and a fixed suspension. It's soft enough to be usable, but it's firm enough to be enjoyable. So I think they found a nice balance, especially on these 18-inch wheels. Move up to the higher spec of the GTI and you get the 19s. That might introduce a little bit of harshness, and that's when I think you would want to have the adaptive chassis, and they're offered on those higher trims. But we'll put the mode into sport and the transmission into sport. Now we're on some of the roads that can really appreciate that limited slip front differential, where it just pulls the car right through the turns. Really nice. The feel of the road is pretty good, so you can feel what's going on with the road through the chassis and a little bit through the steering wheel, although there is a little bit of numbness, but it isn't too bad. So there is just enough to feel what's going on with the front wheels, but it won't make your hands tired because of all the feedback. You're not going to get the tail end to kick out. It's front wheel drive. It's just not going to be that way. But she'll do nicely. She'll hang on through the turns. Not a lot of drama, just plows right through. Just not bad. Fun car. Let's try our 0 to 60. There we go. 5.88. They did a nice job with this GTI. I'm really impressed, to be honest with you. It's tossable. It feels lightweight. It doesn't have the weight penalty that the Golf R has in the driveline. When you're driving a Golf R, it feels like, I explain it as analogous to like you're wading through water. Driving a Golf R is you're knee-high in water trying to run. Whereas in the GTI, you're in ankle-high water and you're just trudging right through. You feel much more agility in the GTI. The benefit, though, of the R is that you're going to get that traction on launch. So you're going to have tons of traction. Great to have the traction in the winter. If you've got slippery conditions, you put good winter tires on it, like good Michelin X-Ice tires, like I do on my Golf R. Great car in the winter. Put on a skid plate underneath the engine so that the plastic oil pan isn't exposed, and you're good. So you don't have any ice chunks hitting your oil pan. You could drive the GTI in winter with good winter tires like the Michelin X-Ice tires. Although it's more fun, I think, in the Golf R because you can spin around the back tires and have a little bit more fun in that regard. But the GTI is just more efficient. You get more miles to the gallon than you do on the Golf R. And they're easier to get, the GTI that is. So there's a lot of bonuses for the GTI that when I bought the Golf R, they didn't have the limited slip front differential. They didn't have the power levels that are on the GTI now. They didn't have this level of refinement. So it's a compelling question. Do you get a GTI or do you get the Golf R? It's almost a tough choice now. I'm really impressed with the modern GTI. Just wish it had a little bit more breadth at the higher RPMs because it's tuned for more lower RPM grunt. That it really does a nice job of bringing you up to speed at lower speeds. In fact, the way they've tuned the accelerator, the speed is deceptive. You're suddenly up to over the speed limit without realizing it. It's effortless power, which is great. But when you're bringing it to the 8, 9, and 10 tenths of requesting power, just wish it had a little bit more oomph at the high end. Just to give it that extra level of performance in the GTI. But other than that, up to 7, 8 tenths, it's a great car. It's a lot of fun. In our thermal imaging test, the 2023 Volkswagen Golf GTI showed good overall coverage of heating elements in the front seats. The lower and middle seat backs offer continuous coverage, while the seat bottoms do the job with 2 elements. The steering wheel offers full heating element coverage around the diameter of the wheel.
Pricing for the 2023 Volkswagen Golf GTI starts with a base price of $30,530. You have a choice of 4 trim levels, including a special 40th anniversary model. Our S-Tester came with a sticker price of $32,425.
And so that's the 2023 Volkswagen Golf GTI. Packed with technology, a lot of fun, still keeps the hot hatch monkier going, but keep in mind, the days of internal combustion engines are coming to an end. So if you want the internal combustion engine version of this, you're going to want to act soon and pick one up before that happens. And if you like watching this video, consider sucking the like and subscribe buttons. Also, check out all the content that we have on victoryandreseda.net. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.